Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing a lovely Oris Big Crown Pointer Date, 40mm in stainless steel with an unusual full bracelet. This is a model that's generally mounted on a strap. The bracelet gives it an impressive wrist presence without being oversized, security on the wrist, and a good deal of additional value as you won't find yourself purchasing replacement straps down the line. The timepiece on my 16cm circumference wrist wears quite easily. It's a wonderful fit, not thick, only 12.1mm thick, and much of that the plexiglass style domed sapphire. The timepiece is also reasonable from Lug To Lug. If you measure just the Lug To Lug spacing, it is 48.5mm. If you include the bracelet itself, it swells just slightly to 49.5mm across the wrist, and I can recommend this watch as it's displayed on the bracelet for a wrist as small as 14cm in circumference. Throw it on a strap, 13.5. Now the timepiece features a spacing between the lugs that's 20mm, so a universal size if you do want to accessorize and dress this watch up with a leather or textile band. A lot of folks will go with NATO, given the vintage aviator style of the timepiece. The bracelet that's equipped feels solid, secure, comfortable, and as you can see, the individual small links mean it's quite fluid on the wrist. Staggered link alignment, staggered link finish. You can see the satin and the polished mixed in throughout the bracelet, not just center versus flanks, but even the intermediate links feature both polish and satin finish. The cross section of each link is rather small, so it's very fluid, comfortable, silken on the wrist, and you can see from the underside, this is a bracelet that will not trap wrist heat, pinch skin, or pull hair. Due to the value proposition, you can see screws are not actually used to size the bracelet, but you have many individual apertures inside the clasp for fine tuning. Once you have the bracelet properly sized, you can make little adjustments through the 5 apertures that allow you to realign the root of the bracelet. Now the clasp does feature twin trigger release, which is an upscale refinement that I appreciate on any sports watch, and of course it's a secure feeling bracelet that feels more expensive than it is in the hand. The case is relatively simple, a combination of polish and satin with polished flanks. You can see the titular big crown, and it is indeed that, with a vintage look and sharp knurling that's easy to grip even with wet, sweaty or gloved hands. There's a little bit of satin on the hoods of the lugs, and you can see the lugs have a squared off and downturned profile at their end. It's a rather complex case considering it's a rather simple watch. As you can see that the coining of the bezel has been sunken below the crests of the lugs to thin out the watch without cropping the lugs themselves. The coined profile of the bezel gives way to a polished chapter ring that encircles the dramatically domed plexiglass-like sapphire, and it is a sapphire. You can see on the dial side of the watch a lovely blue. It's a light blue, not quite as light as it appears on camera, but it is a dramatic impression of modernity and vintage aesthetic. The blue feels very much of our moment, whereas the cathedral style hands, the 1930s style Arabic numerals, the piano key railroad track outboard, all of that feels distinctly of a different era. And indeed it is, as Oris launched its first pointer date style watch back in 1938, and the aviator's aesthetic that this watch cops is drawn from Oris Pilot's watches of the 1930s. Now there are a couple of functions here that you can leverage to set the watch precisely. First is stop seconds. You can stop the movement and set precisely against a reference time. There's also a quick set for the pointer style date, which is a wonderful piece of horological theater if you want to show your friends why mechanical watches are just tons of fun. Now there is a Sellita SW200 inside the watch, which is a Sellita version of the ETA 28242. Automatic winding, 26 joules. We get a little bit closer. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. Bidirectional automatic winding. It features a 38-hour power reserve, and with a screw-down crown and a screwed-in case back, the watch is swimmable, as screw-in crown, screw-in case back, and 50 meters does equate to surface swimmability in modern timepieces. You can see the Oris distinctive red rotor, a tank-tough bidirectional winding automatic movement, again with the stop second and the quick set feature. This is a timepiece that is an all-arounder. It's welcome anywhere. It's a watch to wear with a business suit or a bathing suit on male or female wrists. It can be your leisure watch, it can be your formal watch. It's handsome and rugged in stainless steel. Consider this Pilot to be a generalist. They often say, a jack of all trades, a master of none. The exact opposite here. This watch is a jack of all trades and a master of all. Join Jack on the Watchbox. Oris Big Crown Pointer Date by night. Look at those cathedral hands.